Hello everybody, and we are back at Florida International University in South Florida. And the Panthers are 2-4, but they're on a 2-game winning streak, and both of those games were in conference play, so they're 2-0 in the conference. They lost some tough games to Wisconsin and number 22 Oregon State, so they have played a fairly tough schedule so far. They're better than the record indicates, I think. And if you all remember what happened last season, well, this is what happened. Old Dominion was up 21-17, but FIU did score late to make it 24-21. OGU had a chance, though, to at least tie it and went for the bomb here, trying to win it, and it's picked off in the end zone with 9 seconds left. That put the game away. And that was a heartbreaking loss because really it seemed like Old Dominion should have won that game. They really played well overall, and it was just a tough loss. And so Coach, all week in practice, played that clip over and over and over again to get the players fired up. Whether they played in that game or not last season, the players are fired up because they want to avenge that loss. Want to get over that tough one to FIU. And so here we are on the road. Yes, it was a tough one at home at that, so it was even worse. So if we could go in here and beat FIU on their own turf, that would just be fantastic. And David Dixon on the handoff, 7 yards, gets the first down and a little bit more. So it makes things easier for Silva dropping back to pass here. Good protection, and he finds Connor Martin for about 21 yards on the play. Beautifully done. And Silva having himself a good start to the game so far. Not too shabby as he finds Philip Dickens on that play right around the 20-yard line. Now it's 3rd and 6. Out of the pistol formation that we've seen a lot more this season as a transition to more an option-oriented offense. But look at this, Brandon Ellison. Fantastic wide receiver. I tell you, he has a great future ahead at Old Dominion, and Josh Silva was perfect on that drive, by the way. Very efficient offense to start the game. 7-0. Looks like a great start, and even better because Jack Tacho comes off the corner. And the big thing we're watching is Jake Medlock and that read option, because they will run it quite a bit. But 2 guys to watch out in the passing game from Medlock, who has a decent arm, by the way. They've got Jakeem Griner, the star big-time big wide receiver, and TJ Lauder, kind of a smaller wide receiver. But Griner's a big guy, and he's tough to stop. On 3rd and 9, Medlock, there's good coverage. And he's trying to avoid getting sacked, so he gets out of that jam by just throwing it into the ground. ODU would fail on their next drive, going 3 and out, so we find Jakeem Griner here on FIU's next drive. And yeah, he's tough to stop. He is a very good wide receiver. Possible pro potential, I would say. And here, Shane Coleman on the give. He's going to break about 80,000 tackles before he's finally brought down. That was probably the most well-earned 11 yards I've ever seen on a running play, but nonetheless, 2nd and 10, and it's Griner. He's particularly good running the corner routes and the out routes. Those are tough to stop sometimes in the zone coverage that ODU throws at the offense at times. So, and there's TJ Lauder, the guy who's going to not make as much noise as Griner, but he's certainly going to get the job done when asked. Outside of those 2, though, they don't have too many quality targets, and here DJ Simon blows up the option. Told you, the read option is going to be a big focus for the defense. They're going to be trying to stop that just about every chance they get here. And Jack Tacho making another play, this time swatting it down. So it's 4th and 14, a field goal situation, and it's good. I spoiled that. I said that a little bit before, but I think it was pretty obvious when it was on its way up that it was a good field goal. 7-3. Silva on 3rd and 3. Out of the shotgun, going to roll out a little bit, and he gets some time for Connor Martin to separate from the coverage. And that's a good tight end. When you can run a corner route and get separation, it's beautifully done. Another 3rd down. Lots of 3rd downs happening. Not too much happening on 1st and 2nd. But here, Willie Smith, the free safety, picks it off. And unfortunately, Silva tried to force that one to Kevin Privet, and it was a little bit underthrown. All in all, a good play by Smith, though. He did a good job to go up and grab that on 1st down. And they like to run the option on those 1st and 2nd down plays, but it's blown up by Rob Mahan on that one. Beautifully done. Again, the great linebacking core. And that would totally shut down the drive for FIU. So Silva's going to look to pass, rolls out a little bit. This time finds Kevin Privet. That was a beautiful pass. Please agree with me that was beautiful. That was just nice to look at. My goodness, 2nd and 5. You look at Silva's really improved throughout the season. Although the past few games have been against lesser teams, but nonetheless, he's getting better. And that's what you want. 2nd and 6 now. Silva rolling out again. The pocket just kind of keeps moving away from him, and he just doesn't know what to do. But he does find Kirk Spellman. And 2nd and goal. Dixon's going to get the handoff. Looks like he had a chance to get in, and he stopped about, about a hair short of crossing the goal line there. So 3rd and goal. He gets the handoff again, and it's a touchdown. That makes it a 14-3 game after the extra point late in the first half. 1 minute to go now, or 58 seconds, for FIU to possibly at least make it an 8-point game, if not a 4-point game here. And it finds Dominique Rhymes, but they'll call a timeout to stop the clock. 2nd and 5, and Medlock finds Greiner, who gets out of bounds. Well done running that very, very tough route to the sideline to make the clock stop and save them a timeout. Well, maybe he didn't get out of bounds. But anyway, Greiner, it doesn't matter because he gets a touchdown here. 43 yards. How was he so open? Somebody missed an assignment. Because there's no way that the number 1 wide receiver should be that open. But they ran a no huddle, and it certainly messed things up for Old Dominion trying to get set defensively. So there you go. The kickoff to Donald Simmons, though. It's a 4-point game, and now all of a sudden Donald Simmons is going to take it right down the sideline before being pushed out right around the 45-yard line. 3 timeouts, 33 seconds to go, and Old Dominion has a chance now to at least make it a 7-point game. No reason why they shouldn't with the way their offense has been performing. It's Philip Dickens on that play, getting a nice chunk of yards to help the offense out. And they call a timeout, 2nd and 10. Hey, it's an option, and Dixon, just as he receives the pitch, breaks the tackle at the 10. He's going to go diving for the touchdown, 31 yards. Dixon was held down for most of the half. He was not doing too well. The defense had done a really good job at containing him. And if that tackle is made, that's a loss on the play. But Dixon shakes it off like it's nothing, and he gets 31 yards for the touchdown, his best run of the half. And so, with the rash of scoring at the end of the first half, it's all of a sudden 21-10, right back to where we were when it was 14-3, an 11-point game. Old Dominion having a very solid first half, other than a few mishaps, both offensively and defensively. It's been a very good game to watch if you're an Old Dominion fan, and I think most of you are if you're watching this series, although if you're an FIU fan, I do apologize because, well, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, check out some highlights, some of the good, some of the bad. Guess it depends on who you're rooting for, but stuff and things happen. And there's Greiner again, I told you. Number 80, got to watch out for him. Very hard to cover. Very hard to stop, so gonna have to key on that in the second half. But look at the 151 passing yards for Old Dominion. That has been a mark that's been hard to attain in a whole game, but they've done it in one half. Pretty impressive, all things considered, although FIU is not quite as sound defensively as maybe they are offensively. So we'll see how things turn out in the second half of play. FIU would get the ball to start the second half, but they would go 3 and out. A great job by the ODU defense. And thus, it's the Monarchs in possession. And Silva gets sacked by his own lineman, basically. He runs into him, loses balance, and then kind of gets crushed by another player. So that was sad. 3rd and 9, though, he does find Kevin Privet, who splits a couple of defenders there. Does a great job running that route. He is a good route runner. Got to keep him in mind. And then Philip Dickens, a little middle screen, and he turns this into a good chunk of yards, about 15 there. Yeah, 15 yards, as he made a cut up to the left side and made a lot more yards on that play. The option give to Dixon. That's going to be another 15-yard gain. The offense moving right down the field, just like they did in the first possession of the game. Their first possession of the second half leads to a touchdown from Josh Silva on the option keeper. Oh, it's beautiful. This is a perfect offense for this kind of quarterback. So look out, everybody. 28-10. Still plenty of time, though. You can't just sit back and expect to hold on to a lead like this on the road. because Dominique Rhymes on that play is proving that they can go right down the field if they want to. But here, who is this? Who is this? It's a defensive tackle, John Jordan, the freshman. He's huge. How many times do you see a defensive tackle make an interception? That is something you don't see every day. That dude is massive. They don't get a lot of interceptions at all. Like, I don't know how... That would have to be something I'd like to see. How many defensive tackles have interceptions? Because that's not something that you see a lot. Brandon Ellison on that play, 17 yards. Again, a very reliable receiver coming off the edge there. And then Josh Silva, nice 10-yard gain there. He stumbles forward for about an extra 3 yards after being hit. And then on 2nd and 5, has plenty of time to throw, and it's Philip Dickens. I love the variety in wide receivers we have here. A lot of talent. Nobody really a star receiver, but a lot of talent across the board. And then with a pass like this, it's going to get picked off. That was a very poor decision. And unfortunately, FIU will get the ball here late in the 3rd quarter and try and make things respectable. But look at Chris Cleveland. Comes right through, busts up the option. They continue to do that. Busting up the option. Very well done. 3rd and 6, though. Dominique Rhymes does get the first down and gives the offense more hope. 3rd and 3, though. Jack Tacho comes off the edge and destroys the quarterback. We got to see this again. I want to see this again because I'm hyper. But look at this. That was just, like, decapitating. But it's the 4th quarter, and they feel like they got to go for it. And Marcus Massey deflects this one almost right into the receiver's hands. Thankfully, he dropped it. It fell incomplete, so here we go. 2nd and 10, Silva on a little bit of an option keeper. He's got some speed. He's running away from a defender. Finally brought down inside the 10-yard line. Silva will likely come off after this drive. Then the backups will start coming in. So 2nd and goal, and he fires it to Connor Martin for a touchdown. Well done, Josh Silva. 15 of 20, 2 touchdowns. Did have a couple interceptions, but overall a good game for Josh. And that would be his final play of the game. Backup players would come in both offensively and defensively. I don't know why I can't talk all of a sudden. But it's 35-10. Shane Coleman does bust off a big one. But we do have a lot of backup defenders in there. So maybe just put a little asterisk next to that. You know, it happens. 3rd and goal now, under 2 minutes to go here. And the keeper for Medlock, he does get a touchdown. And FIU would actually get another touchdown. They would go for 2 and miss it. The final would be 38-23. Old Dominion did manage to pop in a field goal late in the game. But yeah, overall a great game. 38-23 is a big win for Old Dominion after the tough loss last year. So ODU improves to 6-2, 3-1. They're on a 5-game winning streak now after starting 1-2 and then 0-1 in conference play. So things are looking very good. FIU takes their first conference loss of the season. And there are your NCAA Players of the Week. We'll also get to the Conference USA Players of the Week. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all the comments and support that you leave all the time. I have not been ignoring them. I will get to you guys, I promise. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time.